Thank you. Next is Delilah Pierce. Delilah Pierce passed away in 1992. However, her niece, her great niece, Wanda McDowell, is here to speak on her behalf. So I'm going to read a little bit of her bio. And this is the Delilah Pierce that was Miss Phillips' teacher, our teacher. Born in D.C. in 1904, Delilah Pierce served as an educator, artist, and curator. Her artistic abilities were discovered at an early age by a teacher who found it difficult to believe that she was able to draw so well. Pierce attended Minor Normal, which was later titled Minor Teachers College, and then Howard University, where she earned a B.S. degree. She went on to receive a Master's in Art and Art Education in Teachers College, Columbia University in New York City, and received an honorary degree, Doctor of Humane Letters from the University of the District of Columbia in Washington, D.C. The piece that I wrote about, supplication. The African-American community is deeply rooted in spirituality and religious conviction, and prayer is the core of this existence. In supplication, an emotionally compelling work by painter Delilah Pierce portrays a woman with eyes looking toward the heavens, with hands pleading for divine guidance. The figure is symbolic of every Black woman who turns to prayer for strength and guidance. You know, Wanda McDowell.
Amen. It is an honor and a privilege to be here today. I am telling you, I would have never imagined me standing up, speaking for my aunt, my great aunt, who has inspired so many people. And, you know, I'm an artist too, so, but I mean, just to be among you all, you wonderful women that are celebrating, you know, your lives and celebrating, I mean, just to hear your story, you sound like my aunt. I mean, she would sit around and she would tell those types of stories and what inspired her and how, you know, life was to her and what art was to her. And she would tell each and every one of you that whether you sit there now, you may think that you don't have any creativity in you, you may not think that you're an artist, but each of you has something in you that can give to the world a piece of you and a piece of art. I don't care if it's a line, if it's a circle. You can go down to the museums in Washington, D.C., and you see stick people on the wall, and you would wonder how in the world did that become a piece of art. But you better believe that it's worth its value in whoever painted it, because it was what came from the heart. She was a spiritual woman. She was, you know, church going, and my great uncle and my entire family. And so that particular painting expresses what her heart was, how she felt about God, how she felt about life, and how she felt about her art. And you know what? Each one of her paintings that she did, she worked on what she called it her child. She didn't call it a work of art. She called it a child. And so, and you can understand that when you appreciate art, you appreciate the time and the quality and the material that went into creating your piece. And then you know why somebody would consider it a child. And so that piece, and if you're Washingtonian, I don't know how many in here are, but if you look at that painting, you would think that it was part of that era. I mean, the 1920s and 1930s, because she grew up in Foggy Bottom, where GW sits right now. F Street has now become more of GW, but her family, that's where they grew up. And she would tell me stories about how they would leave there, catch the streetcar up to where Meridian Park is, and beyond that point was woods. And so they would go, they had relatives back up in the area, probably where we live now, up in Northwest. And they would walk up, you know, go up there, and I mean, she just had amazing stories. She inspired me as a child to do art. I did several pieces, and I, you know, just look at them now and say, wow. And when I was at a foolish time in my life, when I should have been following art and I was following everything else, I stand back and say, wow, you know, now I wish I had her here to talk. You know, now I wish I had her here to glean from her all the wisdom, but I can remember things. I can hear it, and her niece is back there, and my mom had always said that she's not artistically inclined, but she is again. And all of us have some art in us. And so I'm so thankful. Let's all thank Myrtis for this show. Piece of history, and I know she would be so proud. She traveled, if you know, Lois Jones and Alma Thomas, and those were her peers, and they all seemed to think alike, walk alike, you know, travel alike. What inspired them all, you know, I guess you probably remember. Yes, yes. And they had paintings like the two sisters that are there on the wall. I just recently saw a painting in a magazine that Lois Jones did that were two sisters. They were kind of different. And I said, well, they must have sat down and collaborated at some point. You know, I'm trying to get in her mind, you know. But anyway, it's a joy to be here. Thank you so much. I wish that she was here to speak to you directly, because she would tell you all beautiful ladies to keep going, keep pushing, and you know, the sky's the limit. You know, so thank you so much for having me.